Welcome to Something Unoriginal. On today's episode, we are joined by Sierra Valles. We talk on self-improvement, growing up near Lake Tahoe, and a little on cruises. If you enjoy this episode, please like, follow, and rate the show. It helps us grow and keeps the episodes coming. Also, follow us on Instagram at Something Unoriginal Podcast so you never miss updates on the show. Thank you. Welcome back. Sierra, thank you for joining me today.
Of course.
Yeah. We start off all these episodes, obviously, with a little introduction. Sierra, you are a supervisor at Best Buy, the same Best Buy in which I have worked at for about a year.
Yeah.
Now only part-time, sadly, but you're still going strong.
For now, yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll see how that goes.
Part of this conversation will probably delve into that, so
yeah,
we'll see
that.
how it goes. But Sierra is probably my favorite manager that I work with because she's just on top of it. She holds people accountable, and I admire that about you. So let's get into it. We start these things off with a tell me this. You get two options, and you just take as much time as you want to decide which one you prefer and give as much explanation as you can.
Okay.
Tell me this. 4 arms or 4 legs?
Let's go 4 arms.
4 arms?
What are you gonna do with feet? I'm not very talented with my feet. I can't pick things up with my feet, so that seems pretty important to have some thumbs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Opposable thumbs. But then wouldn't you feel like if you're walking on your other arms, wouldn't they be a little bit weaker at some point?
I'm kind of picturing myself walking on all 4 if I have 4 arms.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
And
kind of like a monkey.
Yeah. If I had to picture the layout, like one set of hands is going towards the front and then one set of hands is going towards the back. I don't know why. That's just what I'm picturing in my head.
It's like the creepiest image.
Yeah.
But what happens to the legs? Like, where do they go? Are we replacing the legs with
We're
arms?
replacing them in my head.
Replacing the... Oh.
In my head,
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought it was
okay.
replacing them too.
Oh.
Also, Megs is here.
Hello. I thought we were talking about having just 2 extra arms or 2 extra legs.
if that was the case, I would choose legs.
But that being that's the beauty of Tell Me This is you could have 4 arms and 2 legs. I mean, you can. There's no context.
I'd probably do 4 legs because you can run so fast.
You probably try to think about running.
You
and if
probably...
you're gonna keep your 2 arms.
Yeah, there you go. That solves the problem.
Oh, but now I'm all jumbled up with this one. I don't understand.
But then you have to make custom pants.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do the custom pants thing. That's rough stuff. But yeah, 4 arms then.
Mm-hmm.
You envisioned it the same way I did, so I think that, yeah, I'd probably be on the same train, 4 arms with you.
Yeah, it's more useful.
Sense. Yeah, it's that one makes a lot of sense. Cool. Well, I have some other stuff that I wanted to talk with you about. Things that, spark my interest, I guess, about you. That sounds really weird, but, there we go. You grew up in western Nevada near Lake Tahoe.
Yes.
I don't understand anything about that area.
I mean,
would you enlighten me?
So, yeah, technically I was born in Northern California.
Okay.
I was born in Chico. Technically, I was born in a car, so it's a little weird.
Really?
Yes, I was born in a Bronco.
That's so cool.
Yeah, couldn't make it to the hospital, so I don't know the exact location I was born, but
somewhere en route to the hospital
exactly.
in the back of a Bronco.
Yep. Somewhere in Butte County.
Interesting. Okay.
And then after that we moved to Lake Tahoe. I lived by Ski Run for anyone that lives near Lake Tahoe or knows Lake Tahoe. It's just right by Heavenly. Then we ended up moving to Myers. I lived there until I was like 12 with my mom.
Okay.
And then I moved to my dad's western Nevada, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that was fun. And then lived there until recently moving to Utah about 3 or 4 years ago now.
It's only been 3 or 4 years?
I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You seem like a native now. You've been here long enough.
It's because people like you.
I appreciate that.
Delving into the culture.
Just really laying it out for you, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. As somebody who's never been over by Lake Tahoe in general, what should I know in case I need to go visit?
Honestly, so my dad still lives over there, and most of my siblings still live over there. They've said that it's changed a lot since I've lived there, so I don't really know. It's a lot more populated now.
Interesting.
But while I lived there, it was honestly the chillest place to live. there's a lot of tourist culture, obviously, just like we get here for Salt Lake. But it's like a skiing culture, I guess, over there.
How close to Park City is it as far as like the vibe goes?
Less rich, I would
Oh,
say.
interesting.
Yeah, like it's hard to live in Park City here,
Mm-hmm.
but like very poor people live in Lake Tahoe. It's just like dependent on the neighborhoods. It's Lake Tahoe's so much larger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the outskirts of Tahoe is definitely like more around here than like Park City, I would say.
Interesting. So it'd be like living in a hybrid between Utah County and Lake and Park City.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You get all the good parts of skiing and all the cool parts of Park City, but you get to live in a normal place.
Yeah.
Interesting. And you said your dad still lives out there?
Yeah, he lives down in the valley towards the Nevada side. So yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So you're from the Nevada side then?
Technically, yeah.
Okay. You're like right on the border though, so it's
Yeah.
you do probably dabble in California culture.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense. As far as Lake Tahoe goes, is it better in the summer or the winter?
I mean, honestly, summer's still kind of cold, and it's not like you can really go in the lake. Like, it does not warm up, period.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, if you go during, like, August or maybe September, it's going to be a little bit warmer, but, like, the water is so hard to get into that I would prefer it just being snow all year round, because then I could just snowboard.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So did you grow up like skiing and snowboarding then?
Yeah, my older brother was a huge like snowboarder, so he got me into it. I tried skiing when I was like a kid. Not for me.
Not really?
No.
How come? Did you just...
I don't know. Like the whole pizza thing, like I couldn't get with it, and then you eventually try to move to like side to side, and it's not something I could do.
Interesting.
But like being on a board, it just felt more natural, I guess.
That makes sense. I can see that. Like, I don't know, you feel more attached to the ground, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case or not. I've only snowboarded, so. Megs has told me that I say interesting too much as well. I think it's like a big filler word for me, so I'm trying to get away from that, but I can't.
I mean, to be fair, all the things you're saying are very interesting. So
That is valid. Yeah, that's true. So as far as skiing goes down there, would you prefer, have you been skiing or snowboarding here?
Yeah.
Okay. Which do you prefer?
I used to go to a smaller resort in Tahoe. It's called Sierra Tahoe.
Okay.
Kind of cool name, you know.
Yeah,
My
of
name,
course.
you know.
Obviously, yes, Sierra Tahoe.
I kind of preferred the smaller resort. Like I knew it like the back of my. I guess I could know Park City like the back of my hand eventually.
Yeah,
I just
so big though.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of scary.
For
like
sure.
I've gotten lost a couple times there. It's just always like try to find someone that knows their way back. Whereas like over there, I could honestly spend all day on the mountain and not get lost, not pull out a map, not ask anyone for help. That was preferable.
Interesting. Have you ever have you ever snowboarded at like Sundance?
No.
Never. It's
No.
like really small as well. I think there's 2 lifts.
Okay.
And so I don't know, how does that compare to
I mean,
Sierra?
Sierra Tahoe is a little bit bigger than 2 lifts, but
Okay.
yeah. I
So
mean,
it's substantially
yeah.
different. Okay. Because Park City has like what, 20 something
Yeah.
or 30 or
It's
whatever.
a ridiculous number.
It's great. I think I've heard Park City is like the biggest ski resort in like the Western Hemisphere or something like that.
I don't
So
know.
doesn't surprise me. But they
Yeah.
are owned by Vail now, so they're losing all their cool Utah culture that has to do with Park City. But yeah. Oh, would you say like out in that area a lot more people are skiing or snowboarding?
Yeah, it's a lot more common. It's
Right.
like the activity to do when you're growing up. There's like buses that bus you up to like either Heavenly or Sierra Tahoe, like all over Lake Tahoe. So it's like the easiest thing to get access to. I used to take the bus like when I was like 10 all by myself up to Sierra Tahoe. It was like an hour-long bus ride.
That's so cool.
But yeah.
Hey, is mountain biking pretty big in the summer over there?
I think so. I never got into like stuff like that, but like I knew plenty of people that like did mountain biking or some sort of like dirt bike on trails or something like that.
That's dope. Mountain biking is a big part of culture here in Utah, obviously, as you know.
Yeah.
Have you been since moving here?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Does it interest you whatsoever?
I don't know. Bikes don't interest me that much.
Okay.
So I don't know, like going fast down a track and like not. I mean, I guess if you rode the track before, you'd kind of know like turns and stuff. But like, just imagining like coming across this like huge jump in it, that freaks me out.
I can see that. Yeah, that would be a very daunting task to
Yeah.
try and take on. As far as the mountains here go,
hmm
how do they differ between over there and here?
Like, in how they look, or like being on them and like
Just
stuff?
like activities that you do in between the two of them, or even how they look.
I mean, so here we have like a lot of canyons that obviously people use for recreational use. That's not really a thing there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I've been in like the canyons over there is like a pass through, like getting from the Nevada side over to like the California side. So they have like
Oh.
winding roads up them and then over the top and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I never remember hanging out in like canyons.
Yeah, that's
Um,
like the thing to do here for sure.
yeah,
Like high school kids, at least for us. Now I think it's the gym, but at least for us growing up, it was like you go up the canyon to enjoy it.
Yeah.
As far as like being here in Utah and adapting to like a bigger, like a bigger populace of people, was it hard to get used to coming from like a small town in West Nevada?
Yeah, I still don't take I-15, honestly.
Really, at
Yeah,
all?
no. Like I avoid it like the plague. Like
How do you get to work?
I take Redwood.
Really?
Yeah, and then 2100 North all the way over.
That's actually a good way to do that.
Yeah, it sometimes there's some traffic there. It's taking me like an hour to get home sometimes from work, but
That's rough.
I mean, there's give and take. I just don't feel comfortable on it. People drive crazy out here.
They do.
Yeah, and like they pick up their phone, and that freaks me out.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the biggest thing I've had to get used to is like people driving here, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, like I don't know, everything's so close here. The closest city where I used to live, like throughout high school and stuff, was Reno, and that was like an hour and 15-minute drive, and like it's a pretty boring drive
Goodness.
too. So like if we ever wanted to like out to like a restaurant or something, that's what we would have to do. Other than that, it was just always fast food and stuff nearby.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How many people are from the town that you grew up in?
I honestly could not tell you.
All right.
I think my graduating class was like 1,500 people.
That's still pretty big.
It's decent, but it was like the only high school in our area except for like this really small one that was on the outskirts that like had a graduating class of like 8 people.
Oh, that's rough stuff for that,
Yeah.
that school. Was it like a private school or just like a regular?
It was I honestly don't know. Like one of my best friend's moms worked there, but like I honestly don't know what kind of school it was. It was very small.
It's just a whole different,
Yeah.
no context of what it
No.
was like there. All right. Cool. Well, now we got an insight as to like where you're from, what
Mhm.
you've done there. You're very big into self-improvement.
Yes.
You've told me that you hardly ever touch your phone anymore.
Yeah.
How did this come about?
So, I mean, honestly, growing up, I was I delved hard into like school and stuff like that, and I was always
Mhm.
like trying to distract myself. And I don't know, coming here, I had a lot to work on with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was like super depressed, and I had like really high anxiety. I still have high anxiety. I'm still working on that, but
It's a process.
yeah,
For sure.
it's a very long process. But yeah, so like, within the last like year, 2 years, I started microdosing, as you
Nice.
know.
That was one thing I wanted to cover with you.
Yes, we'll probably talk about that a
We
little
will,
bit
for
later. But yeah, that kind of just sparked something in me that I just wanted to change things that I had like within my capabilities, and one of those things was like screen time.
Mm-hmm.
I used to spend hours on my phone and like spend it on TikTok and like Instagram and stuff like that, and now I don't even have those apps, and it's made a huge difference in my life and how I see like my time
Mm-hmm.
and how I spend my time, and like I try to notice myself when I start like distracting myself from like my actual life.
Hmm.
And that's just been a point that I've tried to conquer, I guess.
Oh, that's cool. What are some tips for somebody who needs to focus and put the phone down? What should I try?
I mean, you have to
Mindset.
want it.
Okay, that's valid.
Like I try to push my own goals on my husband. which
Mhm.
I mean, it's probably not the healthiest thing to do. But I've tried to like get him to put down his phone, which is his job.
Yeah.
He's literally on Instagram like 24/7. So it's
Mhm.
hard for me as someone that has completely put it down to like see that, I guess. But someone that like wanted to try this, I would probably, I mean, there's this video by do you know who Peter McKinnon is?
Mm-mm.
So he's like a huge photographer and like videographer, and he's like huge into YouTube and stuff, and he did a video about like how he set up his phone
Okay.
and like how blank it is, which is the way I set up my phone now. It's just like literally when I go to my home screen, there is not a single app. Before I did that, I turned off all the red notification bubbles.
Oh, you can do that?
Mm.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because they just draw you to your apps.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, like you see that bubble and you're just like, I have to get rid of that.
Yeah, I
And,
gotta
like,
clear it.
Yeah, it's literally a task that you have to do in your head, and
Yeah.
I just started eliminating the thought of that even happening by
Mm.
like just taking away my apps, taking away the red bubbles, and it seemed to work. I mean, max I spend like an hour on my phone a day.
That's not bad at all.
No, I used to spend like 9 hours on my phone.
That's great. That's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
So what do you do now with all your time?
I mean, obviously I go to the gym a lot.
Mhm.
I haven't been going to the gym as much since I got back from my vacation, but
Yeah, the cruise. That was on my list.
Yes.
I forgot.
yes.
Did
And
you?
I know how you guys feel about cruises, so
Well, just Megs, not me. I don't feel that same way.
I listened to that episode, Migs.
I appreciate you listening to the podcast, by
Dude,
the
I
way.
had to binge it before I got on this podcast.
Really?
That was like one thing I had to do.
How-
That's how I fill my time too, I guess, is like podcasts.
Podcasting and
yeah.
stuff. How many episodes did you make it through?
I finished it.
You did?
Yeah.
You've listened to all 8
Dude, I
episodes that are
finished
out?
that like 3 days ago.
No
Yeah.
way. I feel so honored.
I
That
gave
makes
you a
me feel
5-star
so good.
review
in
too.
time. Really? Sierra's my biggest fan now.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm committed. I binge podcasts.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah.
Dang. Do you have any tips or critiques for me?
No, honestly, like we talked the other day when we were at Best Buy, like all the stuff that you think is bad about your podcast is going to eventually improve.
Yeah, it's
And
all improvable. Yeah.
Yes, honestly, you do nothing wrong in your hosting or anything like that, and like every podcast I've listened to has like minor audio problems and like
Mhm.
stuff like that, and then you can just hear it progress throughout the podcast. Like once they start getting into like episode 20, that's like perfect.
Yeah.
So
We're working on it. That's
Yeah.
why we got the headphones now.
yeah,
That's crazy. Well, I appreciate that.
of course.
Okay, so you listen to a lot of podcasts now.
Yes.
How else do you fill your time?
I mean, I obviously my dogs.
Okay.
Love my dogs. Walk them a lot. Spend time with them. Play with them. Just normal dog parent stuff.
What kind of dogs are they?
They're a husky and a German Shepherd.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Megs loves dogs more than anything. There have been times where she's like watched videos of dogs and just started crying. Don't mean to throw you under the bus, but I definitely do mean to throw you under the bus on there.
You can throw me under the bus for dogs any day. I'll take it like a champ and probably cry later, but because of the dogs and not because of you.
That's true. So when I was pushing to hang out with you a while back so hard, most of it was because Megs wanted to hang out with the dogs.
Oh my gosh. You guys should come over and just hang out with them.
We need to. A husky? I love huskies. I was
Dude,
like,
he's a weird looking husky though. You'll have to get
Really?
used to it. He's like a little. I think he was the runt. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I bought him from like some weird family in California off of Craigslist.
No way.
And like, I don't know, the place I bought it from I was definitely saving him. But
Mhm.
like he the way he grew, he's definitely very thick,
Yeah.
and his legs are very short. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he has like a little hunchback when he sits against the wall.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
That's dope. What's his name?
Dakota.
Dakota. And what's the other one's name?
Zoe.
Zoe. And
Mhm.
that's the German Shepherd.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one is more playful?
Probably the husky. My German Shepherd's very like attached, and she'll just follow you around and be very sweet. She'll want to play every once in a while, but she doesn't like when you take her toys. Then
Really?
she stops playing with you. You have to let her have her toys.
Okay. Do you think a lot of that has to do with the nature of the dog? It's like the breed?
I think for her, it mostly has to do with like when she was growing up, she lived at my husband's dad's house,
Okay.
and he has lots of other little dogs, so she kind of had to fight for everything that she has and like stuff like that. So I think
Okay.
that like made her a little territorial, but
That makes sense. So this is like an adopted dog.
kind of. My husband's had her since she was a puppy, like
Okay.
8 weeks. Same with my husky. I've had him since he was 8 weeks, but like we left the German at my husband's dad's house
Mm-hmm.
for like the first year we lived over here.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
So once we kind of like got settled over here, I didn't have a place for my husky, but he just like left his dog there, which
Oh,
is
okay.
kind of weird. So eventually I made him go pick him up. Like after we got married and everything, we just went back and like picked her up.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I totally forgot about this. We'll touch on this, but you and I got married on the same day,
Yes. Leap day.
which is so
Yeah.
interesting to me because I remember like finding out about it,
Yeah.
being like, "Wait, how long have you and Juan been married?" And you were like, "It's been like 2-ish years."
Yeah.
I was like, "Wait, so same for us?" And you're like, "Yeah, it was like right as the pandemic was
Yeah.
happening."
You were like, same.
Yeah, and then just like narrowing it down to the day was so
Yeah.
weird to be like, "Oh, weird."
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very weird.
So yeah, your anniversary's coming up soon. Congratulations! It's this month.
Yeah.
Um,
How are you
So,
guys
yeah.
gonna celebrate this year?
that's a good question. I think we're gonna go to Denver,
Oh, wow.
so not that cool of a place, but
I mean,
also fairly inexpensive
yeah.
and interesting enough.
What
So
are you guys gonna do there?
we haven't figured all that out yet, but Megs has a pretty good plan.
You haven't figured that out yet, but I have.
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking to the wrong person.
Yeah, give me that
Totally
mic.
fine.
So basically, Denver, we are planning on going. Tell us in the comments if these are bad ideas if you guys live in Denver. But we're going to go to the Upstairs Circus Lodo. It's like a place where you can make DIY projects with a bunch of other random people. Kind of fun. We're going to go to Hammond Candies, make candy. Church of Cannabis, of course. Gotta pay our respects.
Yep. Required.
McGregor Square. I can't even remember what that is. If you guys know, let me know. There's a dairy milk market. Have you ever heard of that place?
No.
Okay, so
So cool.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a really artsy district. You go down this alleyway and there's these stores that are really unique that have like really cool food. But the dairy milk market itself, you go into this, it's kind of, it feels like a giant garage, to me at least. You go into this giant garage and they basically have restaurants everywhere you turn. So there's like a circle within the garage. It's huge. It's like a couple blocks long maybe, and you can just like go to random sections and order whatever you want. So if there's anything that you want to eat there, so you can like help me with this, Carter. I can't even remember what it's like.
It's just like you kind of like pull up and sit down at a place, and then it's marked with like a letter and a number, and then you like text in your, or like you get online, you order online, and then someone will like bring it to you. But you can order from like 10 different places.
What the heck?
It's super weird. It's like all in one spot. Like there's a lot of people working on stuff, like whether it's on their laptops or it's kind of got like a coffee shop feel to it, but it also has like 10 or 15 different restaurants in it.
Dang.
It's super strange, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
And from there, we're gonna hit Meow Wolf, Denver. You heard of Meow Wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been?
No.
I don't even know what to expect. I just hear it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like a place where people would go EDM concert raving or something. I don't know. Maybe that's because I'm thinking of Dead Mouse or whatever the frick that is.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Dead Mouse?
Dead mouse, yes.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Don't laugh at me. Okay.
You're
You
gaining
guys.
older audience by her mispronouncing.
There's gonna be a lot of people that also are in the same boat as her, though. I know it.
Yeah.
I'm the least cultured human you'll probably run into. As far as movies, TV, anything with celebrities, it just goes whoof, right over my head. So, yeah. I've accepted the fact that I'll be forever in the dark about things, and that's okay. Okay. The Denver Botanical Gardens. Sounds fun. They have a bunch of live music that I want to look into, and I don't know what I'll see yet, but if you guys know what's happening, end of February, let me know. The thing that I'm most excited for is there's this random dude's house. I can't remember if it's on the way or if it's in... Oh, no, this is Austin, Texas. Okay, I lied. We were going to go to Austin. But there's this really cool thing in Austin that was, like, pulling me to go, where this guy just, like, made a jungle gym of junk in his backyard. It's huge, and you can go like exploring it. There's all these random weird spots to see, which I think is so cool. But yeah, he just will take you and show you around his backyard.
That's pretty cool.
So that's not in Denver. I was like looking for it on my list. I was like, "Ugh, that's what I'm most excited for." Well, rip, we're not going to Austin yet. So the thing that I'm excited for that I don't think Carter will be down for is there are caves on the way to Colorado on I-70.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do this like extreme spelunking cave thing where you like squeeze into these little holes, and I think it'd be fun because it's guided. Carter's really claustrophobic. We need like a story about how your claustrophobic stuff happened.
We gotta get back to Sierra. But I as a kid would lock myself in places a lot.
Why?
I wasn't trying to, but like I like locked myself in the back of our car one time, and like my neighbors had a trailer, and I like put myself in the cabinet and like closed it and locked it was bad. There's a lot of trauma behind confined spaces and being locked in them, but it was pretty good. What are you guys doing though for your anniversary?
I'm off on the 25th, so I think we'll celebrate on that day. Because obviously, like I told you last year, we try to celebrate on Valentine's Day, but it's
that's
so busy everywhere that I'm just like, maybe not.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, we'll probably just go out to eat or something like that. We're planning something larger for our actual anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys consider like each year your anniversary, or if you're just like waiting for that 4-year mark to come.
I think at 4 years we're gonna do something really big.
Yeah.
Right now we want to get out. We've been like
Travel.
confined in for a minute, so we're kind of using it as an excuse to get out.
Yeah.
But we'll probably travel again next year. So
Nice.
where do you guys have like a specific spot that you guys like to go or to eat
For dinner?
for your dinner? Yeah.
Honestly, not really. We're not like huge like go out to dinner people, so I'll
Okay.
probably have to do research and then pick a place. Cause yeah.
Makes sense. You're a very nutritionally minded person, so
I mean, not really.
Really?
I feel like the last time we like regularly worked together, I
Mhm.
was a little bit more like that, but like since then I've been more about like just taking care of myself, I guess.
Okay.
And if that means like just getting something quick to eat or
Mhm.
not getting the most nutritious meal, that's fine with me.
That makes sense. Being more conscious about it, but not necessarily being as strict.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Dang, that's cool. That's interesting. You just barely got back from a cruise. Where did you go? And why'd you decide to pull the trigger on the cruise?
Okay, so I mean, growing up, I didn't travel a ton.
Okay.
Like the furthest that I think I went was like Denver, because my brother lives out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then yeah, this is like traveling's not my thing, I guess. Like I love traveling. I
Mhm.
used to like take photographs while traveling. I used to have like a really expensive camera just for that, and I sold it because we don't travel anymore.
Oh, that's so sad.
But cruises just took all the stress out of it, and I didn't
Mhm.
know that until this last one. Like once we got on the boat, like literally did not have to worry about anything and just went like to events that they had going. But we went to the Bahamas on this cruise. We actually just booked our second cruise last night.
Nice. Where are you guys going on the second one?
So we're going with a couple friends, and we're gonna go to the Virgin Islands.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how that is.
Do you know what islands in the Virgin Islands you're hitting, or is it just kind of?
St. Croix and another one.
Okay.
And
St.
then-
Croix is super cool.
Yeah.
I haven't been there, but
Mhm.
serving my mission, my LDS mission, that was part of my mission.
Yeah.
Was the Virgin Islands, and so like St. Croix, St. Kitts, Saint Martin, like all of those were part of my mission. So yeah, interesting. Okay, that's gonna be a cool. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
cool experience.
Yeah. I mean, we're mostly in it for the boat. Oh, the boat.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know. For me, it doesn't really matter where we're going,
Mhm.
unless it was like transatlantic or transpacific.
Mhm.
But we're not there yet. And
Those
like,
are so expensive.
yeah, they start at like $1,500 per person. Yeah, depending on the cruise line. So like, it's a little bit about in my price range for right now. But they also require you to be vaccinated. My husband's not vaccinated, so.
Okay, neither are we, so it's cool. Interesting. Did you get that sweet Best Buy benefit money for getting vaccinated?
Yes, I think so. That was a while ago, but yeah.
It was, yeah. Tim was telling me about it. There was a couple times where he was like, I need to go get boosted. Or maybe it was just once where he was like, I need to go get boosted so that Best Buy pays me a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. I guess if they're going to pay you. I'm terrified of needles, so I never got
Dang.
vaccinated. Is that why Juan didn't get vaccinated, or is it just
No, he's
personal reasons?
Views that are a little bit different than mine.
All right, that makes sense. He's a really cool guy. I feel like I really want to get to know him more.
Yeah.
So
He's still waiting for your text.
I know. I can't schedule it yet because we
Yeah.
have like
So
I
many
have a few
people.
other episodes that I gotta make out, and I don't want to like book it with him yet, and then have plans change and stuff. But
Yeah.
he's getting a text real soon,
Yeah.
so
I told him to wait for it.
oh for sure it'll be coming through. Interesting. All right. So the cruise, you guys went to the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys like debark at all, or were you just?
Yeah. We didn't get off the first day. The first day was like the cruise line's private island.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it just looked like a bunch of beach, and Juan doesn't like to get in the salt water, so he gets like rashes or something. It's very weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I get the whole not liking saltwater thing. I didn't know there was like a.
Yeah, he gets like weird. Like the last time when we went to Hawaii and he got in the water, he like didn't go in the ocean as a kid that much, but he got in the ocean in Hawaii and he had like a really bad skin reaction.
Weird.
Yeah, never heard of it before.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that it gets better.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
But yeah, we didn't get off on the first port. We got off the next 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
The first island we went to was like Nassau or whatever it's called.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't
The
like that
capital
one.
of the Bahamas?
Yeah, I did not like that one that
Really?
much. The island itself I didn't get to see a lot of.
Okay, yeah, that makes
But
sense.
coming out of the port, there's so many people just like crowding you and asking you if you want to go on like a tour or whatever.
Yeah, the
People
excursions.
People offered us weed. It was very weird. And there was like police officers everywhere just
Weird.
like pushing people around. And yeah, I don't know. It wasn't the best experience getting off the port. So that's why I didn't really like it. But
That makes sense. There's a lot of pressure to like, yeah, I guess that
buy
makes sense.
something.
Okay. Yeah, I feel I've only ever been on one cruise myself.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico,
Okay.
and we got out in Cabo. That was it. We were like, there was like Ensenada that you could get off on, and we just decided to stay on the boat. So
Dang.
the boat, which cruise line did you guys go on to?
We went on Norwegian.
Okay. I hear that one's really good.
Yeah, honestly, I love it. We booked with Royal Caribbean this time, so
See
we're
the
gonna
difference?
see. Yeah.
Interesting. Would you go back with Norwegian again?
Oh yes.
What were some of the draws that brought you in?
So, I mean, we talked to a lot of people that were on the boat, and it's surprising how many people like cruise like 20 plus times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the amount of people that were just like, yeah, this is like my 30th cruise, and we were just like, all right, that's like easily 30 grand, but okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But they really like Norwegian. They were saying how clean it is and how good the food is comparatively. And when we go on, I don't normally drink, but cruising is now my like drinking period, I guess. Signed
Okay.
up for that. But we got drink packages like when we went on.
Yeah.
And for Norwegian, for a 5-day cruise, it was $200 a piece for each of us.
Okay.
And we got free drinks, free Starbucks, free exclusive like specialty dinners. We got 3 of them. And
Oh,
then
wow.
we got free Wi-Fi and then a $50 credit for excursions per person.
For $200 on top
for
of all this?
$200 a person on top of that, which
That's
was like
not bad at
killer.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super good.
And since we just booked our Royal Caribbean one, we were checking into their packages, and it's vastly different. Like
Not even comparable.
No, like their drink package alone for a 7-day cruise, so we're going a little bit longer this time,
Yeah.
is $1,000 per
Oh my
person.
gosh.
Or
How long was your original?
5 days.
5 days.
Yeah.
So 2 more days and $800 more.
And that's just the drinks. It does not come with any dinner, Wi-Fi, or anything like that. Doesn't include Starbucks, doesn't include excursions. So, like,
That's awful.
so far, I'm still liking Norwegian, but I'm still giving Royal Caribbean a chance.
For
to
sure.
See how it works out.
Do you know what boat you guys are going to go on the next time?
I think it's Adventure of the Seas or something like that.
There's one that they have that has like a robotic bartender.
Yes.
Is that the one?
I don't know if that's on this one.
Yeah.
I think it's on like their newer ships.
Okay.
But yeah, like I don't know. That looked crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a video of it like 6 or 7 years ago and being like, I don't drink, but I really,
Just want to test
really
it out.
want to test that thing
Yeah,
out.
just order a drink just to order.
Yeah, exactly. Dang, that's interesting. I remember talking to you a few months ago too, and you guys went to like Vegas or something, and you
Yeah.
had mentioned that you like didn't drink the entire time.
Yep.
So it's interesting that that's like the period you picked.
Yeah, it surprised my husband too, because like the reason I don't drink is there was one night like probably a year and a half, 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
where I just got messed up,
Okay.
and I just honestly didn't see the point after that. Like, just like this isn't for me.
For sure.
And I smoke, so
Mm-hmm.
there's give and take with both, but I definitely prefer smoking over drinking. So
For sure.
I don't know.
Smoking cigarettes or weed?
Weed.
Okay, yeah.
Do
I was
not
like,
smoke
you don't
cigarettes.
seem like a cigarette smoker.
Do not pick up a cigarette.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, cigarettes are gross.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. As far as drinking goes, the culture here in Utah is very, very
Against it.
different and
Yeah.
against it, and hard to like actually. You have to like really put in an effort to drink here, from what I understand. And so, at least compared to other places, from what I understand, how is it like being from or living here in Utah now, moving from an environment where it was just like one normal, but like two adapting
Yeah.
to like Mormon culture? That was a really weird question. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's a lot different here. Growing up in Nevada, alcohol was so like easily accessible
Mm-hmm.
that it didn't like really intrigue me. I don't think I had like my first drink. Well, I accidentally drank wine when I was like 6, but that was like
Oh,
an
jeez.
accident. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
it was apple juice. It
All
was
right.
not.
That's a mistake to be had.
Yeah. But in Nevada, it's like the thing to do. Like people used to go out to what was called the sand pits, which was just like open, like just deserted like land. I guess it was like owned by like the like Native American like the people out there or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like a reservation.
Yeah,
Kinda.
it was part of the reservation, and people would just go out there and have like bonfires and like drink, and that like started when we were like still in middle school.
Oh,
So
weird.
it's just very weird out there. Like it's very normal for people to drink very young and smoke very young, I guess.
Yeah.
But moving out here, it's a weird topic to like broach with people you don't know,
Yeah, that's true.
or like the way you speak out here has to be a little bit more contained.
Yeah, you have to be like way more conscious of how you're saying things.
It was like a culture shock moving out here, and like when I first moved out here, I was working in the warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
not at the American Fork store, but at the
Yeah.
Murray store.
Mm-hmm.
And Murray's a lot different than American Fork.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot bigger mix of people,
Mm-hmm.
but I still had to watch what I say like a lot, and watch like what I shared with people and stuff, because I don't know, people judge out here.
Yeah, it's crazy how judgmental the people here in Utah are.
Yeah.
But when you find cool people, they're really cool.
Oh yeah. There's like polar opposite people. Like
Mhm.
there's not a bunch of middle ground people. It's either people that like are very judgmental for everything you do, or people that are so chill that you're just like, they don't even care what I do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're glad you're here
Oh, thanks.
because we get to know you, which is awesome. One of the other things too, you had mentioned in your self-improvement stuff, microdosing.
Yes.
It's always like a neat little club when you get to meet somebody else that microdoses. I've been doing it for a while. I think that it relieves a lot of anxiety. How come you got into it?
I think my husband got me into it, if I remember correctly. Like, he got stuff from people that he worked with, and from there we just kind of tried it together. It kind of freaked me out at first, like, letting go,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of letting... I don't even know how to explain it. Like, the first time, like, just being confident that this is going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've never done anything like that, I guess.
For sure.
But yeah, it's been something that I've like looked into for quite a while, and like I'm still learning about it, still learning about myself and everything. But
Oh, totally.
yeah, it's just something I've added to my list of stuff to try to make myself a better person. I
That's
guess.
awesome. Do you feel like you're a less anxious person now because of it?
Yeah, it mostly helped with like my depression, honestly. Like
Mhm.
once I finally got on like a regular regimen, I definitely noticed a difference in my mood and how I kind of let things go and don't let things bother me. But yeah, it took a while of me trying to figure out what the correct dosage and like how to navigate things.
I feel like everybody that does microdose feels like really strongly about it because they have actually seen like huge benefits for them.
Yeah.
I had a coworker at my current job that was like, it's funny that people also think that it's like this weird club that when you find somebody else that does, then you're gonna like lose your mind and like be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But like, there's been more times than not where I found somebody and been like, oh, that's cool that you do, nice. But like, you're also like pretty stoked that you don't feel alone in it because it is kind of a small minority of people. Yeah. So it's cool. It was nice to hear that you were in the same boat.
Yeah, I was honestly shocked when you told me that you microdose.
Really?
Yeah, I just I don't know. I didn't know you that well, Carter. So
that's
like,
true.
Figuring that out, I was just like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hopefully this conversation kind of opens it up more too, because I feel like there is a little bit that like of our relationship that's, I don't even know where I'm going with this. There's a little bit of our relationship that's like still needing to be unwrapped, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
The work relationship we had definitely well, for me it definitely restricted what I could talk to you about at work.
That's super true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that I'm very, very part-time and can get fired at will at any point, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it does.
Dang. All right, cool. Well, that's good. I'm glad that we got to touch on that a little bit. The other thing is you're a very fitness-minded person as well.
Yes.
You mentioned to me one time that you got really into like working out and fitness because of a podcast.
Yeah. Mind Pump.
Yeah, elaborate on that.
So I don't listen to them anymore. Like, obviously, I said I binge podcasts. Mm-hmm. So, like, all the podcasts I listen to aren't exactly my favorite, but, like, I need something to listen to.
Totally.
So, they started me out in my fitness journey. That's, like, a group of, like, 3 guys. They used to, like, compete in, like, the classic bodybuilding and stuff like that. And other ones of them just, like, workout to workout or all that kind of stuff. But they just kind of break things down in a way that makes sense. They're very information oriented, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of just like looking good for the camera and stuff like that. They're guys, they don't really care.
Yeah.
So that's why I listen to them, but obviously I don't listen to them anymore.
For sure.
I go through these periods where like I try to gain as much information about like specific topics, and I haven't really been diving into fitness recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you kind of fallen out of the...
Yeah, I mean, I still like working out. It's like an outlet for me. It's my hobby. But yeah, the knowledge for fitness kind of just, it stopped bringing me joy, I guess, in a way. Like, I still like fitness, but like there was a certain time where I needed to start, like, reading books to gain more information or something like that.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And that was, like, kind of the line for me. I was like, oh, I don't really want to read a book about how to lift things, so...
That makes sense. Not much of a reader, I take it?
No.
Neither am I. Don't worry about it. We were talking on the last podcast with a friend of mine, and I was like, are you a reader? And she was like, not really. And so I remember being, like, kind of blown away, because she definitely put off the vibe of being a reader.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know, I guess.
Yeah.
So you said that you study things super, super hard when you're like trying to get into them. So one of those is fitness for you. Do you have anything right now that you're like really into that you're looking into?
I mean, right now I'm kind of on like a self-improvement train. So I don't read, but I did just read a self-help book.
Nice.
Mostly because of the cruise. Like, I just wanted a book to bring along just in case, like, I mean, flights suck and stuff like that. So I did read one about self-help and, like, mental health, I guess.
What was it called?
I don't even remember, honestly. I'm not a very good reader, obviously.
Yeah.
It was about, like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, like, tapping.
No, what is that?
I hadn't heard of it either, but, like, it's kind of like a form of meditation, but, like, I guess you're using pressure points to, like, kind of... Yeah, you just kind of, like, tap points.
Interesting.
And I tried it. It didn't really get into
do
it.
anything for
but,
you?
like, it's also about, like, speaking things into action and stuff like that. And I've kind of been into that recently. Like, with microdosing, you're supposed
Yeah.
to set like intentions when you dose, and that's kind of been my focus recently. So that's kind of what I've been looking into. So that's what I gained from that book. But yeah, that's what I'm studying for right now. Is just like self-help and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever read Atomic Habits?
No.
That's the one that we're on right now that like I feel like you would really enjoy it, even if it's you find it on Audible or something. But he just kind of talks about how there's little things you can kind of adapt to add into your daily life or whatever that make really, really good habits. Obviously, like atoms are super small. And so when he's saying atomic habits, it's like really small habits that really lead into like big outcomes. That's a really, really good book because I don't read either. And I will not capture my attention, but that book, like, really, it does a lot. Like,
Yeah.
you should give it a listen.
Okay.
Or read. I don't know. You're not much of a reader. Listening's probably easier for you from what it sounds like.
Probably. Just put it on like a podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Dang. So what other podcasts are you listening to right now?
So I listen to a comedy podcast called The Judgies.
Okay.
It's kind of niche and they're kind of raunchy, but they like I don't know, they make me laugh quite a bit. And then
That's good.
I've been listening to a podcast for the last few years called Ladies and Tangents.
Okay.
It's kind of around mental health, but they also do like really random stuff and just go on tangents, but they're funny too.
Yeah, for sure.
But those are the ones I've been listening to recently. I haven't really binged any podcasts recently besides yours.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's perfect. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
To just pat my ego for a minute there.
There you go.
Cool. All right. Nice. So these are some podcasts that I should take a look at then.
Honestly, I don't know if they'd be your
They
thing.
wouldn't be my forte?
No, especially the Ladies and Tangents one's more of a girls' podcast.
That's understandable, I guess. Have you listened to Two Bears, One Cave at all?
I've tried it.
Really?
Either podcasts hit or they don't hit.
I feel that.
And I'll get like 3 episodes in and just feel like, nah, not for me.
Really?
And I think I've done that with that
With that
podcast.
one? That makes sense. That's one that I like religiously listen to.
Yeah.
When it comes out every week, I'm always on top of it. So
Dang.
that's why I was asking. I was like, if it's anything like that one or
Yeah.
even Rogan, I'm always listening to Rogan. Mostly for market research to know how to better do this. But
Exactly.
but he's got some good people on that are interesting. So
Yeah.
but yeah, okay, cool. So good podcasting, learning a little about fitness. We kind of moved away from that. We'll move back. How often would you say you're getting into the gym nowadays?
Since I've been back from my vacation, like twice a week, I've been pretty bad. Well, I need to give myself a break. It's not bad. It's
Yeah.
just I haven't been going as much. And I also don't like going to the gym when I'm microdosing.
That makes sense.
I don't know if you get this feeling, but I feel weird about like picking things up. Like I don't feel like I could hang on to them.
Really?
For some reason, like my
That doesn't
body
happen to
feels
me.
weird right in the morning when I take my dose. So like
Interesting.
I can't go to the gym on those days, and I've switched up my dosing schedule, so like it's every other day. And
Oh, no way.
yep,
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
a frequent dose.
yeah, you do that for a little bit, and then you take like a long period of like coming off.
Yeah. So it's
So-
more of like a sprint, I guess. So
Yeah.
you do a lot during a little period of time
Yeah.
and then stop and then okay. What do you know if they're like what the benefit to doing it that way is?
I've just been messing around with different dosing schedules that people post, like
Okay.
mostly on Reddit.
Mhm.
They talk a lot about like dosing schedules, and
There's a microdosing Reddit?
there's a Reddit for everything.
There is. That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't even ever think. All right, now I gotta go add it. I have way too many Reddit pages I'm on. I'm
Yeah.
gonna add this one now too.
I really need to like frame that quote. There's a Reddit for everything.
There is a Reddit.
We're gonna start a quote wall. That's gonna be the first one on the wall. It's so true though,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, no, Reddit's the best.
Yeah.
I'll definitely jump on that one now, though. Thank you for opening my eyes to that one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like every single time there's something that I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's something on that. There's always a Reddit page.
Oh yeah,
So that's good. Like, there's an app for that. There's a Reddit for that.
exactly.
All right, that's pretty cool. So, since you've abandoned your phone
Yes.
and you have a day in the life with you is like going to the gym, playing with your dogs, stuff like that. Your husband's work schedule is also very, very different from yours.
Yep.
How do you guys overlap, I guess?
So I mean, it depends on my work schedule. Like since I got my new position at Best Buy, it's I kind of work nights a lot of the time. So
That's hard.
yeah, we basically have opposite schedules. I mean, I work almost every weekend. Sometimes I get Sundays off, and that's kind of
Mhm.
cool because I'll have that day with him. But he's Monday through Friday, and like he usually works like 10 to 6, but when he gets home, he's still editing. So
That makes sense.
he works like 16-hour days, and it's a lot different.
Oh, for sure.
But, yeah, we still get time together, I guess. We find little moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, by the way, so her husband he owns his own business.
Yes.
He's a photographer and videographer, mostly for cars, from what I understand, cars and motorcycles.
Yeah, he's kind of getting away from that. Like, recently he's picked up quite a few other businesses. Like, right now he's doing a Hawaiian place, like a food place.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's called Auntie's. It's off of 134th by the In-N-Out over there.
Okay, yeah.
But, yeah, he just does the food and, like, photography and videography for them, which is kind of different. Like,
Yeah,
but
that's
he gets
super
free
different.
food, which is nice.
That's nice.
Dude.
That's super cool.
Honestly, they are better than Mobetta's.
Really?
If I had to plug anyone, it's going to be Auntie's Kitchen.
Okay. I'm going to have to take a look, because we just saw the place the other day, Coconut or whatever. Coconut Grill,
Mm-hmm.
that we want to try out, but I don't even know if it even compares.
Yeah, I honestly haven't tried Coconut Grill. So.
Yeah, neither have we. It's not even open yet, the one that we're
Oh,
looking
okay.
at, but I know there's one around here that is open. I just haven't. Anyway. Okay, cool. So you guys get 1 day, 2 days a week maybe to hang out?
Maybe, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
So when he's editing,
Mm-hmm.
most of it is the video, not the photos that he's doing, right?
Correct. Photos are pretty quick for him because he's been doing that since he was like a teenager.
Got like preset settings and stuff for those.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that only does so much, but he's gotten very fast in the process of like editing a photo. Whereas
Okay.
video is like the vein of his existence. Like, he hates video, but like that's where the money's going. So
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, when Instagram switched to Reels, that kind of just changed the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes it way more.
Yeah.
It incentivizes video way more.
Yep.
Ah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to. We'll get him on.
Yeah.
We'll get him on the podcast for sure. I'll send him a text like in the next couple days for sure.
I'll have to like force him into it because he's nervous like me.
Really?
Yeah, he's a nervous person like me.
I'm glad you two found each other.
Yeah, we're perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Is he? Oh, you had mentioned briefly that for now you're at Best Buy. What's the goal? Where do you want to go from there?
I honestly, so that's kind of like the part of like what I've been working on for myself is like, in high school my goal was to be like a doctor, and then I took AP Chem, and that was just like,
You're like,
this
not
is
for me.
not for me.
Yeah.
And then after that I didn't really set goals for myself. Like I wanted to become a secondary teacher.
Okay.
But that didn't work out because they wanted me to take programming classes, and I'm not a good programmer.
Programming for secondary.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. I wanted to be a math teacher, and I guess in order to do that, you have to be a math major, and that requires you to take, I think I took CS 135, and I was supposed to take something after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, we were like writing code in hand, and I was like, no, this
What?
is not for me.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I wonder why they have you do that.
I don't know. But yeah,
Interesting.
that is like the reason I dropped out of college.
It's a valid reason. when the program doesn't align with what exactly you're trying to do. So.
Yeah. But since then, I have not really set goals for myself. I mean, I don't really know what I want to do with my life, but I'm
Mhm.
trying to figure it out, so we'll see.
You'll figure it out for sure.
Yeah.
I was in the same boat, and then I found this podcast, so here we are.
Yeah.
But dang, okay. So is there any
Everyone's-
like inkling that you have towards?
I mean, it would be really cool if my husband gets to a point where I could just kind of be his assistant or be whatever he needs me to be, because I'm like the type of person that's very organized.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you see me at work, like I'm
Oh, yeah.
very list oriented, and like I love my Excel sheets and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. So it would be cool to be the back end of his business and like just like all the computer work. I've been trying to design his website for a couple months now,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been cool figuring all that out. And I've like for his like shirt launch and stuff like that,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was behind all the like numbers and the Excel sheets and like designing some of them and stuff.
That's
like
so
that.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna have to get one of those hoodies.
he still has a lot. I mean, they're taking
Really?
up space in our living room, so
All
please take
right.
one.
Do I have permission to buy one, Megs?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. They're cool. I like the design and stuff that he's
Yeah.
got for it.
Yeah, the person that designed them, I
Mhm.
mean, he's a pretty cool guy. He does a lot of design work, but like the designs like he came up with were pretty like outstanding.
Oh
I was
yeah,
shocked.
they're pretty great.
Yeah.
So that's what's currently on there right now.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Where can we find them?
The guy.
Well, no, the hoodie.
Oh.
Where can we go to purchase them?
I mean, honestly, he doesn't have his website up because he's a slacker and won't give me pictures of the hoodies. So,
So just DM him on Instagram.
DM him on Instagram at stayfocused, STY_FCSD.
So stay focused with no vowels
Yeah.
and an underscore between them.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, search for him. He's great. Juan, he's the man.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, then let's wrap it up. Thank you so much, Sierra, for coming through. We just appreciate your time. And thanks for listening, everybody.